ABC.
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 Imbécile.
ABC.
All right. So not talk conversationally. Just keep playing with the mic.
So I hear that there's this guy that doesn't know a lot about anything, and he was interviewing you.
Yeah, something like William something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe Bill?
Yeah, something like that. Billzebub.
Wait for me to move it. Can you wait, just so that we can get
No,
good.
I don't want to.
I'm asking you so nicely.
Then say please.
Please.
So,
What you speak French in Belgium, right?
Yeah.
What's French for please? I'm an idiot.
all right, focus.
S'il te plaît.
S'il vous
S'il vous plaît.
s'il vous plaît.
We are about to be ready. Can you just, because it's your segment, introduce yourself and your guest? And
Wait. No action yet. No. You pronounce it Nornagast, right?
Yeah.
Nornagast. Okay. Hello, my name is Bonky, and I'll be interviewing Nornagast from Enthroned.
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I have a few questions for you. Do you think you would mind answering them?
Oh, not at all.
Oh.
Well, that's weird answering that with that big furry thing near my... Hey, go on.
It's a chinchilla, or maybe a weasel.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
soft, though.
Oh, it's nice. Okay.
Oh, and fairy.
Okay, serious questions first.
it's
but
a wind guard for the bus.
for the cigarette smoke. Yeah. Okay. Have you hit the wall at any time during your tour? This is your first tour back in America in 9 years. I mean, sure, it's been very hectic. Maybe some bad things happen. Have there ever been any times where you've just been like, I can't believe I'm still doing this?
Well, I've been asking myself that question every day since we started this fucking tour. But the audience and the concert was so great, except in Los Angeles, that, well, actually, we kept going on, and in the end, we'll just remember the good times.
I know that other bands have opinions as to whether they prefer or what's different about European crowds versus U.S. crowds, and I think that this is a especially good question for you because you haven't been to the U.S. for a while. Do you have any opinion on this?
Well, the major difference is like Europeans are coming to the shows in general when they know the band and they like the band or one of the bands playing. In America, they just come, and some of them are just like watching TV, when watching the band, try to discover it, blah, blah, blah. And you have some maniacs here, but in Europe, I have to say there are more of them.
Have you ever had any, I'll call them musical tourists, people that come to see your band that don't know what kind of music you play, and maybe they might be a little bit surprised? I think maybe in some other areas, because I know that New York does have maybe metal scene that depending on where it is, so.
That's a very good question, actually, because we played in Boise, Idaho. Yes. And, yeah, on the whole crowd, there was about 5 people who knew what black metal or death metal was. But, well, they liked it. And some others were shocked.
Shocked?
Not surprised, shocked. They were like, they're satanists. They're against God, anti-Christian. You know, so it was already funny to see. It was funny. Then when you have that kind of people in front of you, like, oh my God, you know, you just want to play with them a little bit, you know, so it was kind of funny. So in the end, I really liked that concert.
Did any of those people come up to you and say, you are terrible, and you are terrible people, and you should feel terrible?
Actually, yes. I had that predicator who was in the audience. He wanted to convert me to Christianity, actually, as an evangelist. I told him to stick his papers in his ass. Well, he went away and he said, I know you're wrong, but one day you'll know. But Jesus is the way.
Will you know one day?
I don't know. I will see what he did with those papers.
I'll see. I read, because I read, unlike some people that can't read, that for pentagrammation, am I pronouncing that correct?
Pentagrammaton.
Pentagrammaton. Pentagrammaton. I read that you wrote the lyrics first, and then the music, and that's backwards than
Usual.
most bands, actually. I haven't heard about that very often.
No, that for this album I wanted to do something special. Like I wrote all the lyrics, and then it was a really big work. I took every lines, I talk okay, um, and translate them into sounds. Translate those moments in emotions, which are emotions, sorry, into sounds. As every lyrics deal with a real fact, something that really happened in our lives.
Do you have to change some of your European concepts to fit the American audience?
Not to fit me.
Like, you have the metric system, so over in Belgium you have pentagrams, but in America we have penta-ounces.
No, we have pentagons. We have pentagons, actually.
Pentagons. No, I will never do that. I will fight always against the American domination. I will always be there for the fucking European Inquisition. Fuck off.
Well said. Unconscious Minds is one of the longest songs that you've written, well, the band has written for quite some time. And I was curious, I mean, I think it has to do maybe with what you were saying about how you wrote the lyrics first, so maybe that inspired part of the length of that song, but also besides, I mean, the obvious, asking about Satan, what images or other inspirations do you have towards the work, or is that really the backbone of it?
On this album, it's exclusively the biggest influence, the main, it's only influence actually, sole influence. For that song in particular, it was I had an experience with a student of mine in the past in occultism that fell into the trap of seduction regarding the black arts, and he destroyed himself and the people around him. And the lyrics of Unconscious Minds is about that. So I wanted to give that song a different tone as well. As you know, I guess, unlike other persons.
Unlike other people, I, read, listen, know things.
As you know,
I'm a death metal guy, not a black metal guy.
It has nothing to do. Do your fucking work, man.
Yeah, exactly. Gosh.
Well, that song is quite different from the rest of the album. It has more like a battery vibe in it. Well, I wanted to give that mid-tempo, a bit like, not epic, but different vibe as well.
I was actually very surprised for that album because I feel as though you went in a different direction, sometimes more theatrical, but in music. Maybe almost like, I think some people might have compared it to movie soundtracks or something, but it really has a depth that sometimes you don't get with black metal. Sometimes it's just very bare bones, and that's like the only thing. If it's not bare bones, it's not like worth anything.
No, on that album, actually, it's completely the opposite. We didn't want to make anything theatrical. We wanted to make it as direct and as raw as possible. We recorded everything ourselves, so in our own studio. So we knew what to give, how to make this sound, and everything. And we used some samplers, some different instruments to create some kind of, as you said, soundtrack in a way, but to represent something that we wouldn't be able to represent with black metal in general. So to give that perfect approach or beginning to a song, we just use that kind of soundtrack, as you said.